live from Mixed Up Moon. This is the Mix of the Past Randomizer Tournament 2022. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic. Joining me today on commentary is Tracy M. Tracy, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to some more round of 64 action now that we are in brackets.
All right, so we've got Yagamoth versus Azder here. We are sitting on a key sanity seed. Apparently, I was going to say Yagamoth starting with a little bit of a time differential there. But
there we go. Yeah, glad he reset that. That'll allow our SpeedGaming tech people to sync the streams up. Otherwise, we'd be guessing for a lot of this. But
for those of you wondering, that's just Azder in Japanese. Or Azda, as it would be pronounced.
Right, but yeah, we have our key sanity mode, which means all the keys are mixed up except for the Castle Tower key and the GT Big Key, as was specially done for this tournament. I'm a big fan of the GT Big Key being in GT and not having to worry about is it there, is it not there. Less of a fan of the Castle Tower keys because that can give you so much information as to whether something is an Agaseed or not.
Well, I'm less. I'm less inclined to be happy about the Castle Tower keys just because it just makes it more likely that you end up having to go to Aga because they're there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And we do have Divergence at the beginning as you're going an Uncle start, probably because you get extra resources before you get to Kakariko. This tree pull is going to help a little bit, grabbing 15 rupees. Yagamoth doing the Sank start. Ooh, nice bombs from the Bush Crab, so no one's going to have bomb issues.
So one of my favorite things to do in Key Sanity is to open with like a Houlihan route, just so I know I have enough money. Because so many of the random items get replaced with keys and junk. So you never know. But we'll see right here. I
did not see it.
That was.
I did not see it.
I saw a brief glimpse of it.
It might have been a sword. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get a better look on Azder's side if he decides to check it.
But anyways, so we got the powder on Uncle. We got the Big Key of Desert there in Sanctuary. And, of course, Yagamoth going to the woods. Small key, someone says.
Small key is a terrible thing to have on Lumberjack because it could be an important one or it could be a useless one. It could be a Swamp Small with the Swamp Pendant, Swamp being a crystal, or it could be a Misery Mire key, which has logical implications, but guess what? You don't actually need it, so...
Same thing with, like, Skull Woods.
Yeah.
And Ice Palace, technically. So, yeah. So we did see a pod key.
Yeah, I think that is a key. Okay.
Yeah. We got a pod key in the drop down there, the Lost Woods hideout. That's the word for it. Did you know that words are hard?
Chad's saying that was a bow.
A bow?
That's another terrible thing to see on Lumberjack because you never know if that's your bow or your silver.
No, it is.
No. It is a bow.
I forgot. I was confusing this with
we got mode. The hard mode, which has the non-progressive bows.
In this mode.
I prefer, and that is an exact example of why I don't like progressive bows. Is that kind of situation exactly? If it's a bow there, I want to know it's a bow, and I know I have to get it, and then I just do Aga when it makes sense to do it. If it's a bow in this mode, it's like, I guess I do it if it's go mode,
So we got a pearl and an ice rod and another pod key here in Blind's hut.
Well, no ice rod hunt is a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Key Sanity, so there's like 7 or 8 ice
I know, right? Every Big Key, Swamp Small, they're all ice rods. Ooh, money now. Get to get a nice early 300.
And Hera Small, hello. Oh, and a lamp to go with it. So now all we need is a glove and like a mirror.
Yeah, that lamp is interesting because it does get us a step closer to Aga. And, you know, if I'm playing a seed where I know there's something useful in the lumberjack, but not guaranteed to be needed, I don't mind getting the things to make it an Agus seed in terms of getting to Darkwold, because then I just know I can just go get that thing, in this case the bow, whenever I want to.
Yeah.
Or whenever I have boots to get it.
All right. So nothing particularly great there in the chicken hut, and we're moving on to the back of the tavern and the sick kid. Of course, both runners finding bottles here.
And last check is 5 rupees. Bit of a shame Azur's not going to get a hammer and be able to check that powder right away, but, you know, it's pretty uncommon to get that this first time in Kakariko, so not too big a deal.
Rarely ever do you get to do Magic Bat at like 2 seconds in.
I know, right?
All right, so we will see this library check. That's a map. I mean, some libraries keep maps as a part
makes
of it.
Sense. Don't think we're ever going to pick that up, and I could see picking it up if you're right there and it's like your last, you know, you're hoping it's your last bit of map information, but not likely. I'm going to go ahead and blind check race game. I see this a little more often in Key Sandy modes because it's more likely to be something you want and don't want to have to come back for.
Though I will say that if a library is keeping burritos on the shelf, you're probably in the wrong library.
Yeah, probably. And it's just a compass, so Yagamoth doesn't need that. This is not the boss shuffle mode, so having a compass there, having compasses doesn't really do much for our runners, other than show the item count, which can be useful, but certainly not necessary. And probably not worth the time it would take to go pick that up.
All right, so Yagamoth going to the South Shore area. We're going to see the dam here first. Some people like to just go to Agina from here and then just do the right side later. It just depends on, again, how many items you have that are useful and how close you are to actually, progressing.
Oh, there's one of those Misery Mire small keys that we don't really care about, other than some minor logical implications. Yeah, I think the more standard play is to just go to the east and do Mini Moldorm Cave and probably do Ice Rod Cave. But you do see occasionally runners will want to hedge their bets and, get that. I mean, this is the most convenient it ever gets outside of, hey, I got a book and I can go into to desert. And Yagamoth's going to grab those bombs because that's his only way of killing the Mini Moldorms. So having the extra 2 bombs, I think, makes a lot of sense.
And the thing about Mini Moldorm Cave is, even if you practice and work on it, it is still impossible to be 100% consistent in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, things can go wrong.
Like that.
Yeah. Now, Azur's going to have two Ice Rod shots for himself, which will make it easier. Because I find if you can get that middle one right away, the other ones on the sides are a lot easier. So he might just walk in with an Ice Rod shot and then switch over to the bombs afterward.
All right, well, we got Zora money. And a sword.
Of course, as you're famous for not doing quick swap, may not want to menu to do that, so it looks like he's just going to stick to bombs.
I was not aware of that he did not use quick swap.
Yeah, we had the fun matchup.
I respect it.
Yeah, there's only 2 people that I know of that are prominent in terms of playing in this community that don't use quick swap. Well, he's got those Ice Rod shots, so your worst case scenario. Him and Koi, and funny enough, they end up in the same group. So we got a couple of nice non-quick swaps races, which was kind of fun. And thankfully, Azure does get the bomb. Yeah, I guess I say thankfully, but it probably would have kept him away from this Thieves' Town compass that Yagamoth just picked up. Because, I mean, again, I'm one of those people that I kind of like the compass usage. I kind of like seeing the counts up there, but that's an awful long way to go just for a compass.
Yeah. And so now we head over to the next most dense remaining location. Yagamoth, of course, going to check the island here first, just some bombs, so we can get completely about that. Yeah,
Yagamoth could also go and do Front of Escape. He hasn't done Uncle yet, I know a lot of runners like to put that off until they at least have access to the back, because then it makes the decision easier whether you want to do, say, Dark Cross or not, because you're not going to be getting mapped. But on the other hand, we have a lamp, so if Dark Cross has a key, or if the key is in the first chest, then you have the opportunity to just go all the way to the back.
Well, I mean, the key could be in a lot of places.
Oh, that's right, because we have key sanity. The key's,
Exactly.
I mean, it could be there.
Yeah,
It's probably not.
Not outside the realm of possibility.
And we don't
I
care
have
about the
seen it
map
before.
either, so it's 4 items.
Oh, hello. We have
Hey, there's that
book
desert
and a cape.
access.
Gross.
Oh, and as you're going to go for something different, I'm going to go ahead and sequence break Zora right now.
Very interesting. I mean, they have the Moon Pearl, so you can get the waterfall as well.
Yep.
Not checking the hobo. So
No, I don't like the hobo check with the fake flipper unless you're just doing the hobo check. It just doesn't. I just don't think it pairs in with the. They're so far apart, and it's just really, really slow. I'm a fan of doing one or the other, but not both. Okay, so our first check of Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern Palace play is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 items. They're all in logic because we do have the lamp. Nothing on Zora Ledge, so we don't ever have to worry about coming back there. We don't have the items for Splash Delete, so that's good.
There are quite a few different setups you can use for Splash Delete. We don't have any of that.
Okay, and to ask chat, why do we enter Waterfall twice? It's part of the fake flipper setup. Just
Yeah.
a green rupee.
So the idea is when you enter the waterfall, or when you leave the underworld, it checks based on the Moon Pearl whether you should change into a bunny, and that check overrides somehow the flipper situation. And it's weird. You have to have the Moon Pearl. If you have the Moon Pearl, you walk out. If you walk out, you'll be walking, and you walk back in, you can open the chest. But if you don't have the Moon Pearl, you walk out, you'll still be swimming. It's very odd.
Yeah, it's one of the quirks of the Japanese 1.0 that we use. Actually, I don't know if that glitch exists in the later versions, but definitely exists in the 1.0.
I don't believe so. So can we talk for a minute about what Yagamoth did in that Stalfos room?
Sure.
Because let me tell you what happened. So he walks in, he drops a bomb in where one of the explosions will be, then picks up a pot and throws it at the other one. That I have not seen, but it is Yagamoth, and you know that he's going to use bombs for something cool.
Yeah, I've not seen that setup either. It was still a nice one.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you seen the Yagamoth strat for doing the bomb jump in Hera, but it involves 2 bombs, one to knock you into place and the other one to knock you across. It's glorious.
So Eastern with nothing. So escape.
Yeah, it's looking like an agate seed here. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. I would do escape first. I expect both runners would do escape first. Just because you're right there, take the death warp and then come back out. But yeah, we have cape, we have sword, we have very little health. This is not a kind Agaseed.
Yeah, you could go over to desert.
Yeah, that book does open up desert, and that gives you a gene
at
at the same time. But sometimes if it looks like
so we can't actually finish it.
Yeah, it looks like an Agaseed.
We have the desert big key.
Like Agaseed. Yeah, so there's quite a bit we could do a desert with that big key. It'd be interesting to see if Azder decides to do something different, or if Yaga decides not to go to Aga after front of escape. But typically, if you're going to do front of escape, the plan is going to be to do Aga right afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if you come over here with the Aga stuff, yeah, absolutely.
So for things to do,
I would have tempted to go to desert.
yeah, because we don't have a whole lot of things we can do once we kill Aga. That's always the thing you want to be looking for: is do I have a hook shot? Do I have a bow? Now we know there's a bow in the lumberjack, so there could be another one somewhere. Hookshot does not. We don't have a hookshot, so we can't go across the river. No glove, flippers, or hammer to get over there anyway. So there's not a whole lot we can do once we get there. So
you can access a few things within pod, but other than
yeah,
that,
we get 2 small keys opens up quite a bit, but doesn't open up everything, and there'll be a lot of out of logic checks as well because you can do a hammer jump to get some items that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get, but you won't be able to get everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what decisions these two make. Yeah, unfortunately for the runners, they both did this Eastern plane and just had absolute trash.
just the hottest of garbage all around.
So let's see what decision Azder makes.
I feel like this is going to be desert.
I could see it. With the book, that makes a lot of sense.
Nope, I am a liar.
Nope, we're both wrong.
Yeah, both of them just looking at that sword, that lamp, that cape, they're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a bow out of this most likely anyway, so we get the ice rod strats. It's actually a pretty fast way to do it, It's people think of it as a swag, but no, there's a lot you can do. And interesting, Yaga not even doing Dark Cross.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to, if you're not thinking about death warping to get out of there, and you don't have a mirror, then I guess save and quit and go to desert is a reasonable play.
Yeah, I mean he could always route in the Dark Cross check if he has to come back for Aga later. To answer chat, the book does point to a possible progression over in desert because it gets you in there. Gets 2 checks because we have actually 3 because you have the desert big key, you have the chest you can already get to, and you have the ledge. You have the sphere 1 check that Yaga's doing right now, which is the Aegina play. So there's definitely things over here, but as with anything in Randomizer, there's this thing called bait. And the book could just be bait. Like that's not an unusual thing. And this still might be the only bow that we can get. So there's a lot of things going on. So I think it's fine to do this either way, because if you do Aga now, there's still, even if we don't need it for Darkworld Axis, we might need it for bow. And if we don't need it for bow, we might need it for Darkworld Axis. On the other hand, even if this is still an Aga play, Yagamoth might just get something to make the Aga climb better. Maybe he gets another sword, maybe he gets a fire rod, which is a really nice thing to have. Like there's a lot of good things he could pick up. Now those rupees are not one of them.
Azder set up the death warp here, and so is going to go to Dark Cross, I think.
Yeah, at the very least, he'll do Dark Cross. I would bet on him even more so than Yaga doing the Aga play. I think he likes, in general, to do that play early. It can be a big advantage if you get it right and you do it early.
So I'm sort of taking some damage from the guards there on purpose, heading back here.
Yeah, he's setting up another death warp.
Setting up to do another death warp, yeah. We have a mushroom.
Thanks, game. We got a mushroom. Even more things we can do. That's a really unfortunate. If it pays out. Oh my God! That's a glove on the torch.
Gross.
Well, now good news, bad news. We now know for 100% sure we are getting boots.
Yeah.
The bow wasn't evidence enough. See, and there's that sword I was talking about. So, Yagamoth still is going to have to do Aga unless the mushroom opens up, say, the other glove, which could open a few items. But he's going to have an easier play because he will have that Master Sword.
Yeah, I mean, hey, free Master Sword.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take it. All right, so as you're heading into Aga Tower, Yagamoth will be right behind.
Yeah, and I like his choice not to bet on the mushroom. Like, this is so unlikely that the mushroom is going to give you the thing that allows you to skip this play. But yeah, that massive. I mean, look at this, just right here, right now, where Azder's having to spend all because he doesn't have any good equipment for these guys, so he has to do this only with Fighter Sword. Master Sword at least makes this like NMG.
I imagine the differences in swords might allow Yagamoth to catch up over the course of this dungeon.
Yeah, I think that could happen. Now, keep in mind, Azder's done some extra checks as well because he did the whole Zora area.
Right.
Now, Yagamoth might never do those. We know there's nothing there. So that might be time lost forever for Azder. But on the other hand, if Yagamoth goes back and does that later, then it's even again. And as we see, the small keys, Castle Tower in Castle Tower.
Yep. Just a little bit of a convenience in this mode, because going off on a journey looking for those is a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I mean it's less of a big deal in this mode than say like all dungeons Key Sandy, which is another place where having to look for those Castle Tower keys and you just have to do the dungeon to beat the game can be really annoying. But because at least here, if they're not here, then it's just another thing to point you to here. Okay, those red guards. Yeah, okay, we're use that boomerang. As you're now past the worst part of this. Unfortunately, there's no sword difference in the actual Aga fight, and they're going to have the same blue balls.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think Yaga went and did Dark Cross before this, so that also gains him a little bit of time. A little surprised about that, because you're right here, and I don't know when else you go do it, but it's nothing, so you're not gonna miss anything there.
I'm guessing what you do is you go do it once you find the Hyrule Castle small key.
Yeah, you could do it then.
From the back end.
I do expect both runners to head over to Pod. I know Azure will mimic Clip to get the bow side. I don't know if Yagamoth does that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what's in their bottle. They do have one, but I don't think it was
it was a B.
Yeah, this is probably a B. It feels like I mean, I've never counted or seen stats on it, but is it just me or does it feel like Bs happen more often than anything else?
I mean, well, there are two different varieties of B.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's why.
Twice as likely. Right, so you can get normal B, you can get good B. We are having a unfortunate Azure projectile situation.
It's a lot of blue balls. I don't even try and count these because I'm bad at counting. I'm sure someone in chat will enlighten us. There he goes. And let's see what's on the ledge here. Small key. So we're going to grab that, find out where that takes us. Third pod small. Now, the third pod doesn't open anything new logically, but it might get them to do an extra check. It's 2 and 4 and 6 where things open up in terms of logic. Of course, there's always a pod key in pod. It's not actually true, but just sure feel like that sometimes.
Well, some of the things open with one pod key.
Right.
If you don't have a hammer.
Right. No hammer and bow. Yeah. No hammer, bow opens the same thing as the first pod small.
Yeah. And in my brain, I always treat the four pod key things as if they were 3.
Right, because you're always gonna because you're always gonna be able to go with one less. You could even go with if you have hammer and bow, you can even go with 2 less if you like. But that's a lot of weird routing, and I only recommend doing that if it's a cross key seed and your pod is in a really bad spot, and you're like, I've got 4 keys and I just want to finish it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case here. We've got all our entrances in their normal spots. Okay, so we start with the shield. That's not very interesting.
Very true.
So here we have to open up the front door. No
Center.
choice. And even if
I mean, you could do this weird thing where you try to go to the right-hand side and hope to get, both bow and hammer over there, but that's...
Yeah. I mean, Azur's going to mimic clip, I think, and then do the rest of the front. But then, hey, see, I told you, small key to pod in pod.
Yep. Yep.
I do expect to see that mimic clip here, but you don't want to be doing that multiple times, even if the hammer shows up.
This is. I'm pretty sure this is about to be a mimic clip that I'm going to want to vomit when I see.
What type of mimic clip makes you vomit?
The one where you don't buffer it.
Oh, Azure will buffer.
Okay,
I can't speak to Yagamoth, but Azure will absolutely does this with buffers.
Because I'm like, I can't do this without buffering. That's crazy talk.
Oh heck, I can't do this without using the potion.
This is crazy talk.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yaga's gonna do. Yaga's gonna go for the bufferless. It looks like he gets it very quickly. Nicely done. Azure took a little bit longer, but he got it as well.
So doing the bottle glitch would be fine, but of course that would require you to walk all the way over and get a potion.
Yeah, so the amount of time you lose from getting the potion is pretty significant compared to doing it without. And we didn't get a whole lot back here, but we don't have to worry about coming back later, so.
So this is Palace of 2 shields.
That's true. We've got 2 shields to start off with. But we got that pod small. It looks like Yaga's gonna spend it here. If you're gonna spend it, this is probably the place to spend it. You don't expect to get a big key. Now, what a lot of runners will do is they'll spend the key here. That way, if they come back with the big key later, they're gonna be able to do all the items back here at the same time. Let's see what decision Azure makes. Now, another option that Azure still has that Yaga now doesn't. I guess he could still do it if he wants to waste another key, but you wouldn't really do this for the back item. Azure could take a death in pod, and then he starts glove. Then he starts in pod.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what the game wanted us to do, is do Aga for those 2 items. But yeah, so he could take a death after he does the checks over here in the dark maze. And then if he wants to check, use one of those keys to do extra checks, he can reset if it's nothing.
For those of you who weren't necessarily watching the screen, that was a glove and a flute for Azure there in the dark U. You're going to see it right here again for Yagamoth. So
Azure's going to spend the key here. Which makes me wonder, that's unfortunate, just a compass. But if he does I do want, because he and I talked about this as a possibility. So I think he might take the death out of, instead of saving quitting out of the dark maze, he could take the death, and then when he checks the item over in the front, with it being nothing, he can reset it.
Yeah, that is definitely something you can do.
Yeah, taking that damage. He looks like he went straight into that bomb to take damage, so I think that is what we're going to see here. Map to Eastern. You get to find out whether we ever have to go back there again. And a big key to Swamp. Which,
it's about to be the big key to here. You might would have wanted to, wait a minute, let me dodge these bombs. But
But yeah, big key to swamp. It's a fetch quest key. It might have something in it. Yeah, and then yeah. So yeah, Azure took the death. I expect him to reset on this 20 rupees. Yeah, and chat suggesting Yagamoth turn in that mushroom. I think first thing you do here is you do back of escape, and that's exactly what Yagamoth's doing. Yeah, and there's that reset from Azure. So he'll get that small key back. And so he has one less check he has to do if he ever goes back to pod, and he still has the small key to do the boss. And there are the boots.
Our boots.
And a big key to thieves, that's really good. And a Quake medallion, so lots of good stuff.
Very nice. Yeah.
So good news for Azure is when he goes to Desert, he'll be able to get that glove right away and could actually beat the dungeon if he wants. It's not logically available because we don't have the small key.
Right.
But it is beatable. So I could see him doing that first. Yagamoth is... Oh, he's going to go get that bow right away. Yeah, this
and then he was like, wait a minute.
I have a bow to pick up. So that makes sense. Yeah, Azure probably will do something similar. Get the bow, get his flute activated. I would expect to see Yagamoth go to the mountain. It wouldn't surprise me if Azure went over and did desert.
Well, I don't think Yagamoth goes to the mountain without the mitts.
It's true. There really isn't. There's only a couple items he could do. Yeah, it's true. That's a really good point. And another small key to pod in Bonk Rocks. Did Yagamoth not go check that?
Huh. I guess not. Yeah, Yagamoth can go get the mitts real quick, and then we'll have access to,
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. World.
And there is our duck friend off to take off. Get us some stuff. And a mushroom turn in.
And Azure's just gonna walk up the mountain. That's an interesting choice. Not to... I hope he remembers he has a flute. I mean, you're right here, so it's not like it's going to be a huge time loss compared to activating that flute. But you have to activate that flute anyway.
Skullwood small key on the mushroom, so not a huge...
Yeah, deal. That's one. If I'd done that off of a reset, or off of a save and quit, I'd reset it. And, just in case fake powder becomes a thing. I mean, it's so rare that fake powder matters.
Well, especially when you have the actual powder.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Never mind. Fake powder just doesn't matter. So, yeah, I wouldn't reset that. But I wouldn't be happy that I went out of my way to get a Skullwood small key. Other than I was able to pick up a potion for free. And by free, I mean in terms of time, not in terms of money. Okay, Azure, you gonna activate this flute at some point or not? I think he's gonna run to desert. I think he's forgotten about that flute. Good news is, since he does menu, he's not gonna completely miss it. Wait, where are we going? Oh, he's just going back to the Dark World. No, wait. Oh my god. Okay, this might be I remembered I have a flute. Another thing Azure doesn't do is he doesn't track. So he's got to actually remember that he has the things or see him in his menu. A little bit of indecision costs him some time.
All right. The Yagamoth is going to go ahead and finish desert.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, it's not the best desert loadout. Ice Rod's not too bad if you're good at it. It's much harder to use the Ice Rod than the Fire Rod. But you've got a Master Sword if you run out of shots, and you've got a bow if you run out of shots. So you got other options to finish off this fight.
You would want to keep in mind Whatever you get off this boss, technically not in logic without
Right.
the desert small key, but that probably won't come into play as far as helping.
No.
But it might. So
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if this is a pendant or a crystal. So unless this is a pendant, you're not going to feel bad for doing it. Because that small key, if it's required is for the other items, is going to show up. And if it's a crystal, that small key has to show up anyway. Like I like to say about key logic, the simplest way to put it is the game won't let you spend small keys in ways to lock you out of other things. So if you have two doors and one key, and you have to make a choice, then those things are not in logic. This is Azur's first time into desert, so he'll get the mitts right away. He'll get that mushroom. And we're going to get a mire area check from Yagamoth.
Mm-hmm.
That map check was way too quick. I think I saw something red at Swamp. It may have been a pendant or a crystal. I don't know. Chat saying Turtle Rock is red. Red crystal. Also Quake for Misery Mire, apparently.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely the case. So we may see Yagamoth open that up.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You can get in there. You can do... It's six items, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't love going into Misery Mire with 6 hearts and green mail, but...
I mind it a little bit less if I'm not expecting to finish the dungeon. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If I'm in a situation where I'm expecting to... I'm much more nervous if I'm expecting to finish it. Now, we have lamps so we can see in the dark, and we have the cape, so... my video strat is just put on the cape and slash away.
Correct.
These guys are a little bit better than I am, but it's still even for top players, it's really not a bad strat there when you're low health. And yeah, Yagamoth can do the key sandy route. We only have one mire small key. It takes 3 to put this side in logic. It doesn't need any. We don't need any small keys to put the boss in logic, but we do need a big key. Chances are we won't be finishing this right now.
And even if we do get a big key, we also need a Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, that would also help. Big key would be nice. One of those items showing up here would actually be really nice, because that would guarantee the non-triple dip. Either get the big key to get the big chest, or the cape, or sorry, the cane to guarantee that the next time you come in here with the big key, you're able to finish it. And as you're going to finish up desert while Yagamoth is in cutscene. Chat saying this check that Yagamoth is very slow without Fire Rod. Well, it's slow with Fire Rod, so.
Correct.
It's just a slow check. Just a little bit trickier to do with the lamp, because you have to push the blocks and do extra effort.
Yep, so garbage left side mire, no real surprises there.
I don't think Azur's done a Gina yet, so he's going to do that now. And we'll see if he goes into mire or if he decides to head over. No, he's already done... Yeah, there's nothing more he can do in the mountains, so I'm trying to think what else he has. Not a whole lot. I mean, the myths open up things. In, like, Village of Outcasts, you could head over there.
Turtle Rock Big Key sitting here in mire. Certainly a nice thing to have.
Yeah, is that the... We don't have any small keys, so that Turtle Rock Big Key doesn't do much for us.
That's true. But it is something we're definitely going to need.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't want to not having to worry about that item. Certainly really good. Azur's going to turn in that mushroom right away.
Yeah. So really what? Game.
What did you just get?
That was the Cane of Samaria.
Oh boy.
What up, French vanilla cane?
Well, like, it guarantees we won't have to do that triple dip. And a tempered sword is nice.
Yeah, we definitely take those too.
Oh, for sure. and a small key to GT. Okay. We don't technically we don't. No, no, this is mode we do need those keys. Because yeah, the GT big key gets very interesting when you go in with less than 3 small keys. Actually, 2 is enough if you do right side first to full clear the basement. You're fine in that situation. But if you have 1, you're hoping that either the big key is early or the small keys show up in GT, which we've seen a lot of. Okay, as you're unfortunately not going into Myers, not going to get that cane right away.
Yeah, nor is he going to get that free tempered sword, which is a wonderful thing to find before you go to do, Dark World dungeons.
Yeah, we should see where the Meyer big key is, because that might take him there, because at least that's an extra check and it guarantees you don't have to do that triple dip. So if he gets the Meyer big key and heads there, then that could save him time by not having to double dip it.
Whoops.
Nice wall master. That is no longer a guaranteed small key, so he's going to have to go back for that. Turtle Rock small key.
Feels like to me that, he's going back for it.
Oh, yeah. Or not. No, okay, no, he is going back for it.
I thought he might have decided to just, get out, but no, he's going for it. Alright, garbage it is. And now he does want to get grabbed.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, so we're even on this one. Wow.
Yeah, this dungeon is just being mean to both of these runners at the same time.
Azur's just gonna... Oh, he's just gonna do the drop down. Just get it, and then he's gonna have to save and quit out of here because he doesn't have another small key.
That does mean is that Azure will probably be skipping this chest. Yagamoth's doing. Oh my god! Game.
That's really unfortunate for Azure. It's really good for Yagamoth. He's just gonna go finish the dungeon now.
Yeah, Fire Rod in the big key chest of Skull Woods is. I'm not gonna say I haven't seen it before, but it is dumb.
Fire Rod in Skullwoods at all is dumb. That's one of those locations that's gotten every runner out there. Oh hey, you don't want to do Skullwoods till you have a Fire Rod? Yeah, good luck with that.
Too stinking bad.
As you're heading back to the Dark World, but I don't know if he's going back into Skullwoods for 1 check, but we'll see. Yeah, especially with the mitts to get down to south here, it makes more sense for him to do this. And we do need the Fire Rod, regardless of whether this is a pendant or a crystal, because we'll need it for Turtle Rock.
Azure got the lucky 100 rupees from the chess game, and then the chess game just gave you 100 rupees.
Yeah, so he spent his aura money. He's back up to 396 with having bought a bottle too. Oh, it's a small key to Thieves Town.
Ooh.
I mean, we might not do Thieves Town for a while without the hammer. We do have the big key, so we can finish it, but it's not in logic without the small.
I mean, with picking up that small, that puts Thieves Town, at least completing Thieves Town, in logic.
Yes.
The only thing that's out of logic at that point would just be the big chest,
which is not just out of logic; it's just you can't
literally
do it.
Impossible to get to. Yes.
I mean, there's probably some glitch out there that gets you there, but nothing that we allow.
I mean, what you could pretty much say is it's definitely possible to get there because you could do arbitrary code execution in this game.
Right. Big key to pod. That's interesting. That'll be a clearable pod once we have a big key. That's not something Yagamoth's missing.
Lamp and GT is a fun seed. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, it takes a very, very specific set of circumstances for that to be possible.
Mirror time.
Mirror is really nice. Basically, your pendant dungeons have to be Pod, Mire, and Turtle Rock. The Eastern Big Key has to be available outside of. I mean, okay, I think we're leaving Thieves Town for Azure. You have to have. Speaking in terms of non-key sanity modes, you have to have the big key not be vanilla and Eastern, and nothing else behind the lamp. Yeah, I was just gonna go follow that mirror and do all this stuff.
So, hammer at Magic Bat, anybody?
Yeah, it could be. Everybody's favorite dig game. Well, Yagamoth doing Village of Outcast stuff we've already seen. Did he also get the 100? Nice.
Wow.
We are going to do some smith chaining right now. Nice to be able to do this with the mirror. It'll be interesting to see if he also picks up the purple chest. Probably going to drag that down. And at this point, you kind of have to choose between purple chest and magic bat. And sorry, you have to choose between the South Darkwold stuff and magic bat. He's going to pick up the purple chest, drop down and do the magic bat, and then we'll see what he does next.
Because if nothing else, you can go turn in the purple chest with the flute and then just flute back to 3.
Yeah, it's not too bad with flute. And it's probably faster to save and quit rather than walk out and flute, so that'll work too.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that, but I think you might be right, especially if you're using quick swap. But
except we're not. Well, one of our runners isn't anyway. Just arrows. And Yagamoth is going to go ahead and complete this dungeon. I mean, it is in logic for him. He is going to be leaving the one chest, though. Even, unless the hammer shows up.
Wouldn't put it past it. Strange things have occurred before.
As we're still not going back to Skull Woods. I think this is going to be the South Darkwold checks that we didn't get because of the Magic Bat check.
Yeah. I mean, we still got Hype Cave down here that we haven't seen, so...
Yeah.
That's kind of a glaring omission at the moment.
Right now, a couple big keys that would really help Azure out. A Skull Woods big key might get him back there sooner. And a Misery Mire big key very likely gets him to do the Mire check.
I got a question for you. How do you feel about Tower of Hera big key?
I like it because I hate I hate Hera potting, and we don't have a bookshot anyway, so we can't get. Oh no, we can. Yeah, we can get there now because we have a mirror. There's a Misery Mire
small key.
I wonder if Azure picks up a third Misery Mire small, that might also send him over there. We're gonna find out our 5-6 crystals. Turtle Rock. We knew Turtle Rock from Yagamoth's side.
Turtle Rock and Tower of Hera. So there we go, and we have a
Pendant Thieves. As Azder picks up the map of Thieves Town, so he's gonna know that's a pendant. So that might be a skippable dungeon for him, depending on if he gets a hook shot to do Harapot.
Of course, Azder picking up a slightly less useful cane in Hype Cave there as well.
Did I miss a map check somewhere? Because chat's saying Myers a pendant. Which would be very bad for Azder, because if he, in fact, I see it on his tracker. Somebody definitely checked it, which means that makes it even less likely he's going to want to go there. Although, less likely he'd want to finish it, but maybe it would get him back there because it is a lot of items, and he doesn't have to worry so much about that double or triple dip. So heading over there now, it looks like. So the fact that it's a pendant might actually be what draws him back in here. The fact that, hey, I got 6 items here. I don't really care if I can't finish it because I don't want to finish it anyway.
Yep, that is the thing.
I think that's the play here.
And of course, the addition of the mirror means he could also pull off Checkerboard Cave while he's here.
Yeah, that's a good point. And chat pointing out he doesn't have that much left, so it's gonna be here, and then it's not gonna open up anything new. It's just gonna give him a cane of Samaria and a sword, and at which point probably might be getting back to Skullwood sooner rather than later because we're running out of things to do. Can do Hera he can't do Hera. He can because he doesn't have that big key and doesn't have the hook shot.
He can still get there.
Yeah, he can get there. He can check a few things. He can do Ether Tab, but he can't finish the dungeon. He can do 3 checks there because he does have the small key. Yagamoth, it wouldn't surprise me if he does it sooner, but he also might wait on. I've seen players wait on that hook shot to be able to do a faster Tower of Hera, so that is also a possibility.
I'm honestly thinking now that it's going to be something like Hammer in Hera Basement.
We have that small key for a reason. It's a fetch quest key because it opens 1 item and doesn't stop you from beating the dungeon.
And the fact that Hera's up there and requires either like the hookshot hammer or the mirror, and we've got the mirror, so it's just like
yep.
Oh, sometimes it's not a guaranteed thing, but a lot of times when you have an item that you can access in multiple ways, and one of the ways you found and you're looking for the other one, often it can be in that location.
Yeah. Yagamoth dragging his purple chest for his 10 arrows. Azure gets his 20 rupees. all the things we want to get. Looks like Yagamoth may be coming back here just to do the magic bat check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I think he's done the magic bat check. I think he's just going to Hype Cave, kind of like Azure did a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, did he also do the purple chest the way Azure did it? Okay, yeah. I mean, either way, you have to do it in 2 trips. So Azure's gonna spend this small key to get to here a little bit faster. Gets that Ganon's Tower small key. Gets his tempered.
Hey, putting that blue cane to use.
Yeah, why not? And is about to
And
get his
speaking of
Canis
chains-
Mario. Yeah, about to get it. And we are going to get checkerboard here. And it's just a heart container. Back to 3, so this is either Thieves Town or Skull Woods.
Yeah. I mean, could be both. We haven't seen Graveyard Ledge either. So
Oh, that's true. Could be that too. Haven't seen Catfish. Could go there as well. I think this is going to be Thieves Town, though. So at least he gets his Hera Big Key, which could be required.
Yeah. I think what Azder's doing here is I think he's going to clear... Or, never mind. I was like, I think he's going to clear Thieves Town. And then he was like, no, you know what? No, not doing it. I thought he was going to do Thieves Town, then go back up to Skull Woods, and then go over west. But I stand corrected.
Yeah? What are we doing?
I mean, east.
Okay. Well, this is a little... Unless he gets a hook shot, this is going to be really unfortunate, because the Thieves Town would have gotten him the Hera Big Key. I think this is just a Hera play. Probably also going to do Ether Tab while he's up here. But there's only three locations he can do here. Yeah, for those of you that missed it, the Fire Rod is in the middle chest in Skull Woods. Azder and Yagamoth both had issues in the pinball room. Azder taking a death, Yagamoth getting grabbed by the hand. But in Azder's case, he decided to just drop down to check the item, which necessitated a save and quit, which made it a lot less desirable to go back and check it. Let's see what the tablet. Just 20 rupees. So Yagamoth's gonna be able to go in and actually complete Hera, and there's no reason for him not to. Other than, unless he's one of those, I want to wait for my hook shot and Hera pot. But I don't think you head up here if that's the way you're thinking. And there's a hammer.
It was in Hera, like I was saying.
Yeah,
it's
not where you were thinking it was. But I can't imagine you come up here without the intent of finishing this dungeon if you're Yagamoth.
Oh, yeah.
Azder's not going to do the basement, the other part of the basement. I think that makes sense. He maybe comes back to it. But doing it right now doesn't make a lot of sense when you have all of East Death Mountain just opened up, dark and light.
Yep.
And with the mirror, if he wants to come back and do it, he can. Okay, please grab the ferry before you die. Okay, or just don't grab it because it's just running away from you and doesn't like you. Wow.
Alright, so Yagamoth heading through Hera here, gonna go ahead and finish it.
Yeah, we'll see if he does the basement. I bet he doesn't do it either, by the same argument. There's our last pod small. And flippers. Which puts ice in logic. No, yeah, we got the fire rod. Puts ice in logic. How much of it is in logic will depend on... we do not have that hook shot, so there are parts that are going to still be possibly not logically accessible, but we will be able to full clear it if we want. The useless map of GT.
We got just a compass on Moldorm, which Yagamoth finishes off and picks up that other 5/6 crystal there.
Devil. Ew. Last fetch quest item. Small key to swamp.
Swamp, small, and free sword.
Yep.
And Yagamoth also leaving the basement for now. No surprises there.
Yeah, I think if you don't get anything else in the rest of the dungeon, I think, yeah, and I don't think flippers is enough by itself. I think you still do it, but we got a hammer. Hammer just opens up way too much to then go and do that cutscene right now.
Yagamoth is going to go ahead and look at the top of Turtle Rock here. This could be Quake allowing him to enter. It is not. It is Ether.
We need ether. Okay. A rock small, we need some of those. And a big key to Skullwoods. So maybe that gets Azure back to Skullwoods sooner. He's running out of things to do. He doesn't have those flippers to get him over to Ice Palace or to Swamp Palace. And we're going to get at least one check over here. Azure may try and hover, but he is in the class of hovers, as I like to say. I can do it if I absolutely need to hover the Moldorm Gap. Whether he, sometimes he'll get this one, sometimes he won't. Looks like he's at least give it a try.
Get it all.
Yeah, he's gonna give up on it. Looks like Yagamoth not even gonna go for it.
Seemed like going. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'll go in there, give it like a go, and especially in a race situation.
Okay, I think Azure is going to head over and do Hera Basement now. Otherwise, he would have mirrored to do this Spiral Cave play, or maybe he can do Spike Cave. No, he did Spiral already. Yagamoth has not. Okay. So we're going to see Spike Cave from Azure. Yeah, you are going to have to use that blue cane with 0 health here. Should be enough, though. Barely. Small key to ice. Okay, Azure's running out of choices here, so Skullwoods, Thievestown, probably his options. We do have Catfish outstanding. You talked about Graveyard Ledge, we still haven't seen that. Well, Azure doesn't have flippers. And he did most of those anyway.
Sorry, I was being a bad joke.
Oh.
He said he was outstanding. I'm like, hey, he's more like swimming. He doesn't really stand. I mean, both of these runners have gone to pod already. They just haven't finished it.
Yeah, I don't see a reason to just go back and do that until you get the big key to Eastern. At this point, both runners know all their pendants and crystals. Okay. Okay, hopefully he doesn't bail here. Okay. I don't know when you come back here if you don't do this now. So that's an Eastern big key. Yeah, it could be a while before Yagamoth comes back for that. And
now I'm suddenly worried about Yagamoth. I was been worried about Azure this whole time.
Yeah. Azure, yeah. He didn't think about it quick enough, but he would have been really well served to go grab the free magic pot there. Finding that fire rod. I'm not even sure he has a shot for the. He's got a potion. He's probably just gonna use it. He bought one when he turned in the mushroom.
Yeah, good call.
So yeah, so what are we missing at this point? We need ether to get into Turtle Rock. We only have one Turtle Rock small key, so we need 2 more of those to finish the dungeon. That would put us in no mode at this point. And a hook shot. We need a hook shot. We don't have that yet.
Interestingly, Yagamoth going the old-fashioned way through ice here, despite having the Cane of Samaria.
Does he have a small key? He does have a small key. Yeah, there's no reason to do this. Huh. I mean, if this was go mode, this actually wouldn't matter that much.
He's mirroring now.
Oh, he was stealing the key, but he doesn't need to. He's got keys. I don't. I've. That is a play you can do. Like if you're, it's especially powerful again in a cross key situation. When you land in Ice Palace, you don't have a small key, but you want to, do the dungeon. You can steal that key, but I don't think I understand doing it then. Okay, so Azure gets his Thieves Town small key. Probably doesn't go back there because he knows that's a pendant. I think he's checked his map. I think we checked this last spot. He could check Ped. We have not seen that yet.
Yeah, there is that.
And then probably flutes off to Eastern Pod.
Wasn't there some big key in Thieves Town, though?
Yeah, it's a Hera big key.
Hera.
But technically he doesn't need that, because
right.
Hookshot's got to show up, and there was nothing else in Hera.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get the Ped check. Triple boom, just some bombs.
Hot garbage to me. Particularly hot once they explode.
Yeah, so I don't see him ever going back to Thieves Town. I think he's gonna, have to Hera pot, and the hook shot's probably. I mean, at this point, it could just be an East. No, we only have 2 checks left in Eastern. It could be in Eastern, it could be in Pod, but we don't have a whole lot in either one of those locations. 2 items left in Eastern, 2 items left in Pod. Could be in Ice. I wasn't completely following everything here, so.
I mean, it seems to be pretty
could be in Swamp
at the moment. GT small. Yeah.
Another GT small. We like to have those. 2 of those guarantees us we can full clear the basement. Oh, Swamp Palace is the green pendant? Oh, then I don't know how I completely missed that. Especially when that was the ask. Yeah, Hookshot could be in GT. It's not likely. Hookshot, it's a lot of things have to happen for a Hookshot to be in GT. Which means Azure might need to go get that big key in Thieves Town.
I mean, let's be fair. Hookshot's in Hera basement. We know it.
Probably.
I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Azure plays this, because he needs to. Because the big chest is so far out of the way in Pod. You don't really want to do it, but you're still missing enough stuff that you probably want to go back and do it.
I mean, really, all we're looking for, like in general here, is just Ether and Turtlerock small keys.
Right. And Hookshot would be really, really nice. As I've said, Azure can hover if absolutely necessary to get over the gap. I'm gonna guess Yagamoth is either the same or maybe does Moldorm bounce. Because if he was
as strong as he seems to be with his bomb game, I would be terribly surprised if he didn't know how to Moldorm bounce.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing to learn if you don't have the hover strat. So it's a good alternative. Hovering doesn't destroy your hands or your controller. But the fact that he didn't even make an attempt in Hookshot Cave. Oh, if there's a Hookshot. Oh, we could have had that forever ago. Oh my god.
What was this?
Okay.
What was this you talking about? I don't like doing hobo at the same time. Yeah.
It's a terrible play. It's slow and it doesn't usually have a hook shot.
There is that.
So that is gettable for Azure, but I don't see him doing the fake flipper play.
Wow, Yagamoth
So that
going for the
means,
Skull Woods big
yeah,
chest here.
yeah, it looks like. I mean, what else does he have at this point other than hook and going into Swamp Palace, which no one wants to do?
Fair.
Okay, nothing in the pod big chest.
And I believe
So he'll
that
not do
tells
pod
Yaga
Eastern.
where he wants to go now.
Yeah, he's gonna go pod Eastern next.
Well, he might go do that Graveyard Ledge Catfish play. Like, he's heading out to the east here.
Yeah, he could actually run and do these checks on the way to pod Eastern if he wants to.
Gonna check Bumper Cave as well. I imagine.
Yeah, we saw the arrows there
already. Wait, is it as? Okay. Never mind. Alright, so as you're gonna now see what's in the big chest of Eastern, another bottle.
Yeah, don't really need that.
I mean, I ain't gonna complain, but hey.
At least it's got something useful in it. Looks like Yagamoth hasn't done... I guess he has. He's just walking out that way. There was nothing there anyway. But Yagamoth doing a good job of covering a lot of ground here.
Alright. As you're setting up for the nice quick kill here, and there you go.
And that's a small key to desert. Okay.
Interesting.
That's essentially a fetch quest key at this point, except it's 2 items.
And it, of course, also puts that desert play in logic.
Yeah.
The only thing desert unlocked was, well, eventually it unlocked GT. That's it. And just bees there on the waterfall ferry.
So is Azure just going to go ahead and do
Yagamoth
ice?
Has not done.
No, yeah, we saw this ages ago from Azure. Okay, I think Azure's just going to do ice. Which makes sense, since, you know, you don't really need the flippers unless there's something required in Swamp.
Seems good.
And after this, he's going to be low on things to do. We'll have... I can see him doing...
that if there is something in Swamp, it's just going to be that much worse for Azder.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... He's not getting there for a long, long time. Remind me, the flippers were they were not in the big chest, were they? They were in the other chest in that room?
No, the flippers were in the big chest.
Okay, they were the big chest. So if Swamp is required, then he will need to get that Hera Big in Thieves Town basement.
Yeah. The other chest in there was the last pod key.
Right. Which we don't care about at this point.
So Yaga will be doing the pod and Eastern double feature, I'm sure.
So to stay in this, Azure needs 2 things. 1, he needs to get that hook shot, and 2, he needs nothing to be in Swamp. So he could say, well, I'm already sequence breaking the flippers, let's do this. I can flute back to 8, I can do the fake flipper real quick. And then he'd get the hook shot. If he has to go all the way to Thieves Town to get the Hera Big, to then go get the flippers, to then go get the hook shot. Or he needs to just bet on being able to hover, which is not a good bet when your opponent has the hook shot. It's essentially a betting on the hover when you're playing an Andy or a Dante or someone that just can hover at will, or an Airy. But in the meantime, it's a crystal dungeon that you can full clear, so no reason not to do it. And I like the skip of the flippers a lot better in the scenario where you're not expecting to necessarily have to go into Skullwoods. Or sorry, into Swamp. Skullwoods is all done.
So, people, one of the first things you used to learn when you start to play the randomizer here is how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yep.
Well, nowadays there's like 7 Ice Palace bomb jumps.
Well, I mean, there's always been a lot of them, but there's only one, the Ice Palace bomb jump, right? The one that I still will contend it is a virtual hard required strat in this game. Obviously, the game does not put it in logic. You're never required to do it, but if that Cane of Samaria is not available when you go into Ice Palace, you do not want to be doing this the intended way.
No. That is some hot garbage.
But yeah, I think Incoherent in chat is right. There are 4 of them because there's the 2 to get to and from Ice Tea, and then there's the 1 to get to the hookshot side if you don't have hookshot. So.
I have seen someone claim the 5th Ice Palace bomb jump, which is so Azure just went through that room with the 2 fire bar with the fire bar in it and the
Yep.
ice there, where you can bomb jump from the top to the left on the corner, which is really dumb.
Yeah,
it's
I
slower
mean,
than walking around, but you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. There's an old pod bomb jump that used to be used from the room that Yagamoth is in right now to get to the back. If you do it from the right where that beetle is standing. You don't see that anymore, but that was a old. I think that was an old NMG route that used that. Okay, so where are we fluting to? We fluting to 8. I'm gonna do Hobo. Are we gonna flute to 3 and do Thieves Town, or is there something else that you want to do? We're going to 3, so this could be Thieves Town. Now, he's got Hammer and Thieves Small Key, so if he does Thieves Town, there could be something significant in the big chest.
Yeah.
Ether in that big chest could matter. Even a Turtle Rock Small Key there, since we were still missing so many of them. You need 3 to finish the dungeon.
So, I honestly, if I got to the point where I found Ether and I had 2 Turtle Rock Small Keys, which I know Azure does.
Yes, he does.
And the last one should be somewhere around here. Or Yagamoth should have it soon, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in Eastern.
But yeah, if I had 2 in the Ether Medallion, I'd probably just go to Turtle Rock and assume it's going to be there.
Yeah, I think that's a fair play. Okay. Nothing new going on Yagamoth side. We've already seen the Armos Knights. We will shortly have 1 check on Azur's side that would make a big difference.
And Yagamoth heading for the Armos fight as we're about to head downstairs, where we might see that additional item.
Yeah, this is for the chat comments. They were both in Eastern Palace at the very early parts of the game and did 4 out of 6 checks because they had the lamp and it was all in logic. But there was nothing there, so. Okay. Almost moment of truth time. We're going to pick up the maiden first, then head over to the big chest. This is going to be a really big play for Azder. Gets his hair big. Okay, this, I guess, is checkerboard. I don't think Yagamoth had mirror here when he did this stuff.
Yeah. sounds accurate. Unfortunately, just 50 rupees there in
Yeah.
the big chest of Thieves Town, so not going to bail out Azder here.
Oh, he's also going to check the
Desert.
the right side of desert. This makes sense. That small key, having shown up recently. And I don't recall anything being here. And as you're knowing that this is not a pet seed, this pendant does nothing for him. We still have Hera Basement. I wonder if Azure will do that with Hera now that he's got the big key to just do it.
Maybe. I mean, you might. It seems like the sort of thing you'd probably do once you're up there and you've done as much as you have at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially given the fact that you don't have the Ether Medallion that you need for Turtle Rock.
And by Hera Basement, we mean the part behind the small key. The basement cage was indeed Hammer.
If we want to be all entirely technical, it's actually the first floor.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Because don't we walk into Hera in the second floor?
The second floor, yes.
Where's Yagamoth going?
The very first quick basement check was the hammer, yes.
Because if he's going to do the same, wouldn't he do it for the other direction?
Well, he can also do Hookshot Cave.
Oh, right, with the okay, he's following up on the Hookshot Cave. That makes sense.
So he's thinking, I'll do Hookshot
easy to
Cave
forget.
first.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that when they've already been in there.
I probably think Hookshot Cave, Hera Basement, Spike Cave in that order.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So Azur's going to finish Hera. We'll see if he does the basement as well. And then the flippers here might draw him back to the one flippers check he hasn't done, or it might send him to Swamp Palace.
Going into Swamp without the hookshot sucks.
Yeah, it does, but it's a pendant, so...
Yep.
Azure. Usually pretty good at this bomb jump. Unfortunately, didn't quite get it set up properly.
There's our Ether Medallion sitting right there in the Hookshot Cave.
Of course it is.
Well, guess where Yagamoth is going?
Yeah, that's where I'd go. He's got what? Two? No, he's got one. No, he's got to have two. We'll see when when he walks in. We'll see if he has two.
I'm trying to remember where the other one was.
I don't think where else Azure's looked that Yagamoth hasn't. There's those flippers for Azure.
Yeah, he's got two. Okay.
And it's not uncommon for TR small keys to be in TR.
Oh yeah. I would be terribly surprised if there's not one here.
Gold Sword, Moldorm is very quick work.
Yup.
Okay, so does Azure follow the flippers right away, or does he go into Hera Basement? And shoutouts to our tracker. I'm going to try my best to announce his name, Narendeutsch. Doing a great job with these. Key Sandy, when you're doing two players, is really hard. So, you know, it's fine. We didn't know that... We didn't see Yagamoth pick up that second small key either. But huge shout-outs. The trackers always are MVPs of these tournaments. And we're going to see Swamp from Azure. So, He needs some TR smalls to be here. To stay in this race. And for none of the TR smalls to be in or adjacent to Turtle Rock, since Mimic Cave could have one as well. The hard part is that Yagamoth probably comes to Swamp next. I don't know where else he'd go. But you know, if very first chest, okay. Now that's actually not a good location for Azder, because he's probably full clearing the front of this dungeon before he goes back and does the bridge check.
Oh, come
my
on,
god.
game.
Just leave. Go. Just leave and go. Oh my god.
Game.
I mean, it's not the right play to go leave and look at the hobo. It just isn't, but oh my god.
So yeah.
If he did, unfortunately for Azure, it's not going to be enough, I don't think, because those are just too easy to get. Like, if they were left side, then he'd be in really good shape, because Yaga would, possibly go all the way to the back before doing left side.
So again, for those of us who are, listening on radio mode here, can't really watch. Those were both of the Turtle Rock small keys in the first two chests of Swamp. Thanks, game.
Yagamoth gets half magic for his trouble, though. And this is not just left side Swamp, this is left side Swamp the slow way. So maybe he considers not doing it, having gotten those 2 TR smalls.
Maybe.
I mean, doing these 2 checks is just, the amount of time you sink into this is a lot less. But no, he's going to continue on.
You know what's really sad for Yagamoth? You can't save your portal.
No. I mean, he'd still be able to run through Turtle Rock really fast.
The fact that we beat Agam also means you can't save your portal, but still.
Yeah, in this case, you would not be able to, because the only way you can save your portal if you've killed Aghanim is if you stay in the light world. And that's just not possible. So Swamp double doing it for us, not just because we have to use the mirror to get there, but also because it's in the dark world. Yeah, I mean, Azur's going to finish doing these last 2 checks in Swamp. They're going to be slow. The only thing left he's going to have is that hobo check, so I think he does it, and then he'll have Hookshot Cave, and I think he does that. He's done as far as I remember. He might, I guess he still has Catfish and Graveyard Ledge, but I think he's more apt to follow the flippers than he is to go off on those other checks. But we'll see.
Now, as you were saying, what with Azure not using a tracker, I really hope he doesn't completely forget about the hobo.
No, he's pretty good about remembering the locations, because since he is very used to not using a tracker. And keep in mind, he also plays SMZ3, which is an extra 100 locations. There's a small key to Skull Woods. We really want that game at this point. Oh, we haven't seen the shovel spot. He stands right on top of the mail, but doesn't pick it up.
Disrespect.
Hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, he's got Dark Cross. These locations for Yagamoth that I hadn't thought of either. But he's gonna have to mirror after this.
Hi, pod map. Get out.
Okay, so if Azure flutes to 8, although fluting to 8 or 4, okay. Is he gonna try hard?
Yeah,
hover?
Hover again.
I don't like that play. Oh, we still haven't seen Hera Basement. Ugh.
Right, Hera stinking basement.
Yeah, and Yagamoth now resigning himself to doing swamp. Maybe this is not Harrow Basement. Because that is not how you get to Harrow Basement. Maybe... Okay, no, he's... No? Oh, it's just resetting the dead rock.
Undead rocking there.
Oh my god.
Come on, game.
Oh my god. Just loot away. You know, you want the hook shot.
I'm not entirely certain he's even checked the top of Turtle Rock, not gonna lie.
No, he saw it. Pretty certain he saw it. Because he didn't have the hammer. No, he did have the hammer. He came from the Dark World. He came from the Super Bunny. He's gonna go for this.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, Yaga's just gonna leave with the one. He doesn't even need to get. Yeah, no reason to get the second one.
Gets the heck out.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, for Azure to be in this, he has to get this hover. He can go mode Turtle Rock, which is going to be not much slower than what Yagamoth's doing, because in Key Sandy, go mode Turtle Rock actually means something. But then he also has to hit the hover on the GT climb. So it's a lot of things that have to go right for Azure, and he's not. Azure's not the type of hover that can just do this. Now, which of these chests was it?
It was the one he's heading to.
Okay, so if he just gets this one hover, he can get it.
Well, Yagamoth was going to go through Paradox Cave, but I mean, I think anybody will tell you that if there's a dead rock in your way, probably faster to go the other way.
As you're trying to warm up that hover.
So, I mean, the thing with hovering is you don't have to go fast. It's just you have to make sure you don't let off the button for too long.
Yeah, I've seen you do it. I can't do it. I won't do it. It's just not in my skill set, and it would destroy my controller. And he's gonna grab that fairy and try again. My A button suffers enough from other games.
Fair.
If I ever got to this level of competition, I would probably learn Moldorm Bounce, but that would be it. But yeah, now that window of opportunity, if he'd gotten that hover quickly, is pretty much closed, because Yagamoth is well into Turtle Rock now and just needs to get to the back.
So close on that last one. Made about halfway across. Yeah, Yagamoth will be finishing this one off pretty quick, I imagine.
I don't think he's forgotten Hobo. He's got Hobo, he's got Graveyard Ledge, he's got Catfish. There's no way he's forgotten all of these. He's just banking on this being the right answer. And he's right. It is the right answer. It's just, it's tough when you're not accomplished hoverer. Those are really bad checks. His best chance of winning is if he had gotten this hover right when he got up here, and then gone and done Turtle Rock and done GT. It would have been a race. But he also would have had to then get the hover at Moldorm 2. So those are all doable. They're all doable things. It would have put him in the race. Going to Hobo, getting the hook shot, was not going to put him in the race unless he had done it straight after getting those 2 Turtle Rock small keys in Swamp.
All right, so Azure is now on his second refill fairy, trying to get through here.
Yeah, in some sense, the fact that fairy's even here is maybe bad. Because it keeps him doing this. But at this point, I mean, he's behind. Like there's just not a thing that can happen to Yagamoth at this point that's gonna save him.
Ooh, Yagamoth pulling off the 0 cycle Trinex there.
I mean, that's what Gold Sword will do for you.
Good job. I've yet to be able to get the timing or the positioning right on that back strat there, but it's really well done. All right, Yagamoth on crystal number 7 there, which means if you want to start guessing where you think that big key is, go right ahead. We got 22 different locations. Have fun with that.
Yeah, he's only got 2 small keys, so I would expect to see a right-left routing to make sure that you can get all the keys, because you want to steal that key after the compass room.
All right, Yagamoth into GT, heading to the right-hand side. What do we have? We have a full heart and shield number 3.
Gotta have mirror shield. Okay, so now we're gonna go, yeah, and he's gonna do exactly what I expected with only 2 small keys. This way, even if the big key isn't in this room, you can steal that small key and you don't have to worry about having enough keys to get through. So, you know, in normal GT routing, I am not a fan of going right first. I mean, in the end, it's 1 in 22, right? You know,
Right.
no one location is significantly better than another. But in this situation, when you want to make sure you have enough small keys to do everything, I think this is the smart play.
And
or you can just find the big key and it's all good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a...
We're good. Let's go.
What was that? 6? Or was that... No, 5. 5? Because he was
6.
not... 6. It was 6, okay.
Number 6. Congratulations.
Don't know if anyone guessed it. You can tell me that you guessed it, and I'll believe you because I'm not looking back.
Yep. FaZe was the first one to guess 6. That is absolutely true.
Well, then he should have done 6 of his emotes there, not was that 8? Yeah, with Gold Sword, Red Mail. Those last mail upgrades were kind of funny. One was on Laser Bridge and TR. One was on the dig spot. As you're taking a death, we'll see if it changes what he wants to do. No, you start at the Mountain Cave to flute anyway, but he might go right back to Hookshot Cave.
Azder is not giving up. He is
determined to do this.
Despite being beaten to submission by Dead Rocks and the fairy not cooperating, he's still going for it. Which, I mean, props to him. It is the correct answer. But there you go.
Yeah, at this point, I think he just liked to get this. He knows he's not coming back from this at this point. I was going to do Hera Basement first, but that's unfortunately not going to be the answer either. And his other checks, again, all really bad at this point. A bit of a shame because he did the fake flipper early to Zora, and I said at the time I like to do, if I'm going to do a fake flipper, I either do Zora or I do the hobo check, the man on the bridge. And there was nothing in the Zora area, absolute jack. So if you'd done the hobo instead, then you'd have that hook shot really early. You would have had ether. It's just unfortunate that it just worked out this way. That's true. Yagamoth did not pick up the red mail. He did get the blue mail, though. It was sitting on
He
Laser
didn't pick
Bridge.
up the red mail. He
Yeah, it
did
was just,
see the
yeah,
red
he
mail.
saw
He
it, and
dug up
he
the
stood
red
right
mail.
next to it. Like, he stood as close as that hitbox will allow. He spelled his big key. Oh,
Gross.
so logically required Hera basement. I hope that doesn't send Azure to Ice Palace. No, sending him. He's running back.
And Yagamoth, of course, having the presence of mind to remember to, oh yeah, let's pick up that key.
Oh yeah, it has to pick up that key because he only walked in with 2.
And he didn't pick up the key after the compass room, so he only had 1 going up. So yeah, you needed a second key there. And as you're going back for the play here, can he clear the hover gap? 4 tiles here, which means you basically need, let's see, what would it be? So it'd be like 32 hover frames of movement.
I've never counted. I never thought to count. That's actually really interesting.
When you're moving left, you would go 2 pixels at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with there being 16 pixels per tile, I think that's the way we would go. See, this is why the Moldorm hover is actually harder than this one. The Moldorm hover, it's a shorter gap, but you're going down, so you move half as fast.
Interesting. I've often heard it's easier, but then again, I can't speak to it.
There
it is.
Yes!
He gets it. Okay, so now he can finish the game. We're going to see more hovering, I suspect, because he's not getting that hook shot. I really think he just wanted to do it at this point.
Good job, azder.
Meantime, Yagamoth on the Ganon fight. With gold swords, look pretty easy. Has a cape just in case. Just has it out in case he wants it. Probably not going to need to use it. Even with blue mail, he's not going to take a whole lot of damage. Yeah, he just dodges the fire bats. No problem. We never did find silvers, did we?
We did not.
Well, we're about to find out where they were. Probably in GT, or maybe in Swamp. Yeah, GT.
GT it is.
Yeah, and Yagamoth going for that early hit on Ganon. Doesn't get it because 1 in 4 chance that Ganon just stays right where he is, in which case you can't get the early spin on him.
Sad day.
Unfortunately, gets another spin not quite timed right. But with half magic, he's got more than enough to finish this off. And there it is.
All right. Well done, Yagamoth, finishing off Ganon. Should be crossing the threshold quite soon. There we go. We have an official finish from Mr. Yagamoth of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 21 seconds.
Yeah, GG's to Yagamoth. Takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 series with games 2 and 3 if necessary. Same times, noon tomorrow and noon Friday.
We got Triforce telling us to believe in Pod, which I really don't. Not this time.
Pod, I mean, Pod had a couple things. It had Pod, it had what, flute and the glove?
Yeah.
Flute and glove, yeah. Behind the 4 Pod Smalls that we picked up.
All right, as you're coming up on the Trinex fight here, gonna attempt the 0 cycle, and
Nicely done.
yep, did get there. Yep.
And Azure will head over to GT.
Yep. So I know that we've got a couple of different restreams going on here. We've got the German language restream and this restream as well. So I don't know if and when any of these guys will come in to interview, but
yeah, maybe the Yagamoth wants to do the German one first. We often get them first in those situations, and so maybe let the Germans go. Oh no, yeah, I see him in setup.
Well,
and welcome to Yagamoth.
By Yagamoth here. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you, and good evening.
Evening for you, afternoon for us, but yeah.
Yeah, something or morning for some, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was morning when it started here.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, that was a heck of a race. I'm sure you were able to tell what was going on from what happened here, but yeah, your opponent, of course, skipped out on the hobo much longer than you did, and actually spent quite a bit of time attempting to hover the hookshot cave. Pulled it off, so there you go.
Yeah, it does look like if he pulled it up first try, he would have had quite a bit of an advantage. So I either got lucky or he got unlucky. I don't know how you want to phrase that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hovering. He's not the at-will hoverer of the types of the Andes and the Dantes and the Aries of the world, but he can pull it off, and sometimes pulls it off faster than that. So, like, obviously today just wasn't clicking for him quickly today.
Yeah, it looks like it. I have tried hovering in the past. I technically managed to do it at some points, but it's just it's just not reliable. So I just don't even try currently.
So if it had come down to it and you're going into GT without a hookshot, are you looking for that hookshot?
Kind of depends. I'm pretty comfortable with the Moldorm bounce, so
okay.
But I just don't get hookshot cave or right side Palace of Darkness.
Sure. Okay. Well, the right side Palace of Darkness is a whole nother level of hovering. I think, at least from what people have told me, they can actually do it because I can't. It's definitely not in my skill set.
It looks really fancy.
It does, doesn't it? Now, Yagamoth, I haven't seen you on the scene since the 2019 tournament. What have you been up to? 2019-2020 tournament. So, welcome back. But what have you been up to in the meantime?
Occasionally I played here and there, but I kind of like doing random stuff. I like stupid challenges, so there's that. And occasionally, trying to participate in a randomizer tournament is quite fun.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you back. Meanwhile, we see Azure with one arrow has to clip.
I was like, why is Azure doing this? He's got the bow. Oh.
Yeah, it kind of sucks when that
also,
happens.
Okay, here we go. Here's a really important question. Were you aware that bufferless mimic clip is cheating?
Yeah, Dr. Bob was not happy with you doing the bufferless.
It's completely legal, and it's very, very awesome. and I just wanted to compliment you on pulling that off.
Okay. Yeah. It's one of these things that I feel like it probably heavily depends on your controller, but I've managed to pull it off both on console and emulator really easily with this controller, so it just works. It's a matter
Nice.
of just knowing what to do. It's basically the
So-
same as the spin speed input with the sword.
Yeah. I think
So-
that's
so
my
for-
problem. I'm just bad at spin speed.
Yeah, I was about to say. So since everybody wants to know what controller makes it easy, what controller do you use?
I actually use a Super Nintendo Mini controller.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
I guess I should
think-
learn to mimic Clip.
I mean, is there a difference in the D-pad between the Super Nintendo and the Super Famicom controller? Because I have a Super Famicom controller.
Famicom has about the same D-pad as a regular Super Nintendo. The SNES Mini is like slightly more stiff. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, it's
I
a
agree.
SNES Mini controller.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a difference.
Yeah,
I-
those
I
are
can-
hard. Yeah, that's another reason not to hover. Honestly, is because my A button on that controller just dies really quickly, and I have to keep buying new ones.
Yeah, that's probably why my previous controllers died. The A button let go, and the up direction on the other controller was just destroyed at some point.
Hmm.
And replacing those things is annoying because you
It
can't
is.
buy them separately.
Right. I've managed to find every time I have a used video game store that every time I'm always asking for do they have controllers, and if they have them, I just buy them. No questions asked.
Yeah, I would be curious what video game store that is because I only just recently managed to get some replacements, but
Yeah, it's a
would
local
like-
chain in Iowa, so I'm probably not going to help you out very much.
Oh yeah, that's probably rather weird. I only just recently managed to get like 2 more.
Mhm.
Before that, I was just trying to Frankenstein together another controller from other parts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
that was
I mainly- Sorry.
really well done. Let me tell you. Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I mainly started using SNES Mini controllers because they are amazing for speedrunning Secret of Mana, where you need to start and select buttons really often.
Mhm.
And regular start and select buttons of like European or US SNES controllers, they are not good. Japanese Famicom controllers, they are better, but the SNES Mini start and select buttons are just the best, so to speak.
Yeah, I got used to it just because I started playing again for the first time in a long time on the Mini. And then eventually switched over to a SC2 SNES because it's just easier to transfer files over. But still liked the controller. Like I couldn't find a regular SNES controller that I liked, so...
Yeah, Minis are just better, I agree with that.
Well, here we go with the hover attempts again.
Oh yeah, he has to do that.
Oh, that was
so
looking
close.
good.
So close there.
So early on, this was interesting start to the seed. It looked like it was an Agaseed. And I'm guessing when you went and did escape, you probably figured it was probably an Agaseed. But you went and did desert before the Aga play, which I think actually helped you out a lot. Because even though it didn't let you avoid Aga, there was no way to avoid it. Getting that Master Sword allowed you to catch up. Azder did Aga right away after escape, but he was on Fighter Sword, like 5 hearts, no nice weapons, and just being able to do that with the Master Sword, I think made a huge difference. So what was the decision process when you decided to go ahead and do the desert play you did before heading on up?
Basically, my main reasoning was that it's likely that I need to go to Palace of Darkness soon after, and I didn't have boots yet, so I couldn't even get the bow. And it was basically kind of a toss-up whether I would go to Aga or not. And when I ended up freezing the guard to kill the ball and chain dude,
Yep.
I decided, well, I might as well save and quit now and just go desert now. It was basically just a coin flip in my head, I guess. And when I did that thing, it was like, well, just gonna save and quit then.
Yeah, and that just, that sword made a huge difference. And it's also probably good for you to have the knowledge of the glove sitting there on the torch. It also makes it even more likely now that it is going to be an Agassiz. And of course it was, and it was to get the, it was to get the bow, which, because we now know the silvers are sitting in GT basement somewhere. And also to get the flute and the first glove in pod.
So, I do have to share one thing that you can both commiserate over. Both of you.
Oh, yeah. In Skullwoods.
Skullwoods was like the worst to both of you. both of you ended up having to go back for that pinball room chest for various reasons.
Oh yeah, that was just. Let's put it this way: in various places during the seed while I played, I just kept hearing that Final Fantasy IV dude boss that just kept saying sloppy.
Sloppy. We get Ilbert up in there. He's like,
Oh my
sloppy.
god.
Yeah, I have not even played Final Fantasy 14 much, but it's just stuck with me.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Oh, great. So yeah, let's see. What else was there that was interesting here?
Meyer, I suppose.
Yeah.
The Meyer, the cane in Meyer, the hammer in Hera. I guess there were a couple of French fellows, like the fire rod in Skullwoods. Then we had the cane in Meyer, a Meyer that you never had to go back to, thankfully. And then, but yeah, that it was big for you. That was actually another big part of the seed where you went and were able to finish Skullwoods. You went and did the pinball chest the long way. You went back for it, and of course it was nothing. Azure decided to drop down for it, so he had to save and quit out because there was no small keys, which meant that he decided not to go back and get that fire rod sitting there in the big key chest.
Oh yeah, that stings.
Yeah, so he didn't get that fire rod till much later. The interesting moment was if he had followed the hook shot a little bit sooner, or followed the flippers to get the hook shot a little bit sooner, if he had gotten those Turtle Rock big keys. So you don't know this, but it was actually 2 Turtle Rock small keys in Swamp. In fact, the first 2 chests were Turtle Rock small. And had Azure left with those Turtle Rock smalls and gone and done the bridge check, I think he would have been at worst. Yeah, I think he might have actually had the lead there because he could have just flown through Turtle Rock. He wouldn't have had to do any of the checks because in Key Sandy, go mode Turtle Rock actually matters. Not like normal modes where it's like, well, I get to go mode Turtle Rock, but I still got to find all the keys, So that was a kind of a funny moment that those Turtle Rock small keys happened a 1-2. Now, of course, you don't actually need the 4th small key because go mode, and you don't need to open up the lava chest.
Yeah, it's true. One thing I will say about Mystery Mire is Mystery Mire is one of these dungeons which, especially in Key Sanity, I don't mind double dipping because it's so quick to get back there. It's kind of minor. So I was there, I could open and enter it, so I just did, even though there was the entire of the Dark Overworld. So it was just kind of
it's 6 items
for me. Yeah, on top of that, that's true. I would not have gone in there if I didn't have a fire source, to be fair, but then again, we had lamp pretty early.
Yeah, that lamp, I mean, in the Agassiz, that's going to happen. That lamp likes to show up.
Alright, so, Yagamoth, were you planning on joining the German restream for a bit as well?
I guess I can do that, so thank you for tracking and commentating, and I wish you all a nice evening.
Yeah, you too, and good luck tomorrow.
And Azure just got the hover.
There we go.
It's you to Azder.
All right. Well, see you later, Yagamoth, and congratulations, and good luck tomorrow.
Okay, so the rest of this is not going to be a problem for Azure. No. He's got the gold sword. He doesn't have the male upgrades, but or upgrade. Didn't get either one of those.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was down at the end of Laser Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one that Yagamoth picked up was Laser Bridge, and then the shovel spot for the other one.
Yeah. All right, Aga 2 down for Azure. Time for another gold sword, silverless fight here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely prefer gold or tempered swords silverless to master sword silvers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Any time I'm on master sword, I don't like it. Typically, if I can, I'm one of those. I want a cape, I want half magic, and bottles if I have to do it with master sword. I can do it without, but yeah, not my cup of tea. Ash is one of those that actually really enjoys doing that fight, except that it's long, so it's not like he's going to choose to do it if it has another choice.
Right.
But he's one that would probably love it if the tournament did cap it Master Sword.
So just like low percent randomizer.
Yeah, he likes that low percent challenge stuff. Like if you see a 0-0 daily or a what do they call it? Not hard mode. What's the next one? Expert mode, yeah. Extra mode on a daily. You're likely to see him running in it. Of course, also gets the same, because the same warp patterns also gets that warp that does not allow him to get the free shot at the beginning.
He did get one right off of that first lighting, so he'll get the triple on the first go here, which is very nice.
Oh. Okay, there we go.
That's going to be 9. Just needs 3 more. Setting up for another triple. Ooh, just getting a little trolled by the fire bat there, but we are
There we
done.
go.
There we go. As you're finishing it off, official time here was 2 hours, 1 minute, and 46 seconds.
And I think maybe about 15 minutes of that was.
Yeah, about 15 minutes of it was hovering attempts.
Yeah. I might be overestimating a little bit. It's hard to say, but there's a lot of hover attempts there.
And we are now joined by Azure. Congratulations, and
congratulations on getting those hovers.
The maddest props on the perseverance there. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, thank you.
And I mean, we all knew where the hookshot was, and chat really wanted you to just go to where the hookshot was. But honestly, if you had gotten the hover right away, you were right in the race.
Yeah, that's why I went for it.
Yeah.
I figured it was likely to be my only chance to win.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only other thing you could have done at that point was if you'd left Swamp right after getting the 2 Turtle Rock small keys, you gone and made the correct decision to check under the bridge, that would have put you in the lead. Yagamoth had dipped into Turtle Rock and full cleared it without the 3rd Turtle Rock small.
I see.
But I mean, that's a tough ask. That really is a tough ask.
That wouldn't have made any sense for me to do.
Yeah, no, it's just yeah. I mean, because we knew at the time that it was the thing to do, but yeah, that's a tough ask to say. Oh, I got these 2 Turtle Rock small. I still need ether, right?
Yeah, so I was hoping that he what I was hoping for was that he found hookshot and some gross thing that I hadn't done, and that it caused him to do back of swamp and looking for ether and didn't find it, and that it was in hookshot cave. Something to that effect.
Yeah, if the small keys had been on left side instead of right at the beginning, that would have been, I think, really good for you. Because by the time he went back to swamp, I think you go to the back first if you have hookshot.
Yeah.
But the keys showing up 1, 2, and of course it didn't even matter. He didn't get the second one because he didn't need it. But yeah, so
that was a heck of a display on that hover there.
Yeah, everyone got to watch me be bad at it for an extended period of time.
But everybody got excited that you got it. So
it looks like the kind of thing that, like, if I'm that bad at it, I clearly shouldn't do it. But it's very inconsistent for me, and I have days where I can get it in a pretty small amount of tries.
Yeah.
But it's just I have issues calibrating it sometimes. That's the main issue I have, rather than just like whether I can do it or not. So there was a chance, like there was a real chance that I would have gotten it in a few amount of tries. You only have to do it correctly once,
right?
Or twice in the case of the
Hookshot
seed.
Cave and then Moldorm too. But yeah, I mean, at that point, I think it was a fine gamble. It just, it's tough when you're not the automatic hoverers, hovering type. That's, we know, we've already mentioned their names, but those players that can just do it at will.
Yeah, I had too many disadvantages pile up in the mid game. I feel.
Yeah, a lot of little things happen. So, Yagamoth going to desert before Castle Tower. So he had a Master Sword, and he just caught up. Like you went into the Castle Tower sooner, but he had that Master Sword and just was able to get through it faster. In fact, that he got fire rod.
Woods issues.
Yeah, the Skull Woods. You both had
you
issues.
Got messed up in that pinball.
Yes, you did. He got grabbed by the hand, but then he went back in the normal way. But since you had fallen in to get that check, you had to save and quit. And so it wasn't a whole lot of incentive for you to go get that fire rod in the middle.
I wasn't going to get it anyway. It mostly cost me Bumper Cave.
Yeah, because then it's hard to get back. So that fire rod situation.
I got lucky with Skull's big key, 1 being required and 2 leading me back there.
Yep. We figured the Skull's big key might get you there. He did Mire a lot earlier than you did. I don't think that was that big a deal because the cane didn't really open much at the time. Yeah, I mean, just those little things he did. Oh yeah, and another one was he did Thieves Town earlier than you did. He didn't know it was a pendant at the time, and Hera Big Key showing up there, which ended up being, certainly logically required for the flippers. Like it's kind of a weird set of things.
The flippers are hard required because
the flippers are hard required but the Hera Big Key was not hard required if you sequence broke the hook shot. No, it was hard required because the flipper had never mind
because it locks the flippers
and the flippers lock the TR smalls. So
I was actually thinking of fake flippering a hobo as kind of like a bailout play after ice, but it seemed too likely that he would have done it already anyways. If I'd gotten hookshot at that point, I would have just screwed myself by missing flippers.
yeah, that's true. It's actually funny when you think about it that way.
Kind of a ridiculous seed. So I meant to do Thieves Town way earlier as well, but I died. I was just going to do it and risk Big Chest not being anything.
I mean, we weren't certain if it was an on-purpose death or not. It was
because it was right where you would have taken it.
Yeah, no, it was very far north of where you'd normally take that death.
Yeah, I didn't quite see the location. It's still in that first set of rooms. So.
I also just got the mirror out of the chest too.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's true.
I was thinking about leaving, but because I felt like I had disadvantages pile up, inefficiencies. I wanted to make Thieves Town not be one of them, so I was just going to do it right away and risk the big chest. And then I died, so then there became there was no advantage left in doing that anymore.
Right, and then it turned out to be a pendant, so it was still even less advantage.
Yeah, I didn't do the map check because I was just like, I think I just assumed it was a crystal already, and when I got the map, I didn't bother checking.
Oh, did you not realize it was a pendant when you went back?
I went back in and I saw the P, and I was like, I don't actually want to do this because now this is he probably did this already, and if there's nothing here, I can like try and get back in the lead.
Oh, that's what that back and forth was all about. Now I remember. Now I see.
Yeah, there was some moments of indecision, which I'm
the really bad one mid game, or the really bad one after Aga was like, I got the flute and pod and the glove.
Yes.
Glove got me boots to get lumberjack bow, and then from there I went and I did the old man. And then I was gonna go back to Kakariko and activate the flute, and then I was like, wait, no, I shouldn't do that, because what if I get there in the dark world and I find a mirror and I can mirror to activate flute instead of taking this walk? And then I was gonna go to catfish because that seemed like the only thing left, and I was like, wait, no, I have boots. Desert's a much better play now than it was before. So then I started walking away from the Aga portal to go to desert, and I'm like, wait, if I'm going to desert, I should be activating the flute. So I
yeah, that was a bit of a moment where like, what is he doing?
It looked way dumber than I feel like it should have.
Yeah, I mean, things happen. Things definitely happen.
Yeah. So sorry for making you sit through a bunch of failed tower attempts, but the problem with that was like once I knew how to beat the seed, I stopped looking at the race room, and I think he finished pretty soon after that. So
yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think you were in Turtle Rock when he was in GT. That sounds about right. Yeah, I assumed you had. I know you don't always look at the race room, and I saw you do the tile room play in GT, and I figured he hasn't looked. If you're doing the tile room play, he hasn't looked.
Right.
But I'm glad you did finish it out, because hopefully Swamp will just be a crystal in the next seeds, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up here today, Azder?
No, that's it. Thanks for comms and tracking and stuff.
All right.
GG's.
Thanks once again to our runners, Yagamoth and Azder, for putting on an excellent show. If you like what you saw here today, there's a thing on their channel. It's called follow button. You should do some of that. And also, I want to thank our tracker, Mr. Nervendolch.
I'll try it. Nervendolch. I'm close. I know that's wrong, but I forgot to ask Yagamoth to say it when he was in the interview. Get the German person to speak the German name.
And of course, my co-commentator, Tracy M. Thank you for joining me as well.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure. Was very, very excited to see your name next to mine on the schedule this morning. So,
all right. Once again, thank you all for watching. There's a lot more Randomizer today on the various SpeedGaming channels and a little bit on the Fast Randomizer channels. Make sure to give those channels a follow too if you want to see all of this.
ALTTP Randomizer right now with Humbug versus Willard J. Bradley. So go ahead and tune in over there.
And with that, I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic, everybody, and I will see you all at a later occasion. Good night, everybody.